All right, guys, welcome back to the round. After my magnificent birdie on the sixth hole, we are now heading to the seventh hole. This is like our number two handicap hole in the golf course, all out of bounds left. You can see the houses and stuff. Uphill par four, probably about 360, 370. Plays a lot longer though. Can't go left, can't go right. But besides that, no trouble. I think we're one up at this point in the match, so it's important on this tee shot to get like a good feel of what you want to do. There's a little bit room right. It's one of the tougher tee shots on the golf course, I feel like. It's right into the wind. I've hit a pretty good one. This will leave me like 130 yards or so, which is fine with me. I'll take it all day on this hole. Big D is about to go. He's leaked this one a little bit right. There's a cart path over there. You can see it on the right-hand side of the frame. It runs all the way up the right-hand side of the golf course. So if you hit it right and it goes close to the trees, hits that cart path, and a lot of times you get screwed. But there's out of bounds to the left and probably the smallest water hazard in New England. It's so annoying. It's about 8 inches wide. I wish they would just put a pipe in the thing and bury it, but they don't. The Canadian. Boom. Just hit a little bleeder out there. He'll be fine. He's getting a stroke here, so he's important for Pat. For PGA Pat. And here he is. The man of the hour, the Tower of Power. Coming up to the tee. He's lost that one a little bit right. He's going to be over there with Big D. And we'll see what happens. All right. Coming up to our second shots. That's the Canadian over there on the left. My ball's right here. It's not quite on top of the hill, but it's close enough for my liking. We are playing lives pretty much everywhere this time of year. And I can't get over how fat the camera makes you look, too. It's crazy. Getting ready for my second shot. Up by the green here, you got a bunker right, a bunker left that you don't want to be in. Pretty narrow front entrance and then widens at the rear. You can see how uphill it is. I'm watching this one. It's going a little bit left. So up at the green. Oh. Somehow I missed the seventh hole. I can tell you what happened. I made a par. We have the hole. Now we are on the eighth hole. Must have had a camera glitch there. Eighth hole, par 3. Today it's playing right around 170. 169 into the wind. Pins way back. Canadian's about ready to pull the trigger. It's a good little par 3. Especially in these conditions. It's blowing right at us hard. Canadian has missed the green. Believe it's short right. PGA is next to play. Must have lost that hole somehow. I think I 3-putted that hole. I think. PGA with this pretty classic setup of left, and he just leaves it open. You can tell by the body language, this is heading right. It's leaning, he's leaning left. Praying for it to come a little bit, and it doesn't. It's not too pumped. It's a little bit long. Pin's in this like back right corner of the green that's hard to get to. It's like 170 straight into the wind. I'm trying to hit a little knockdown 6-iron, keep it under the wind, and get it all the way back there. It's just a little bit right of the pin. I'm watching, and it's over the green. I'm not thrilled. Should be a fairly standard up and down, though. Big D. Looking for some revenge from the last hole. He's bunting a little 7-iron in there, I believe. And he hits, only one hits the green. So, good shot there from Big D. Now we're up at the green. You can see Big D's got it about 15 feet right of the pin. Andrew is on the green short. Patty's short right, and I'm pin high. The ball just flew over the green on the fly and ran through. So PGA about to execute his chip. And the way PGA putts, that's a guaranteed 3. No way he's going to miss that. Chipping, and very close to holing it. They give it to me immediately because they know now that I'm a member of Arm Lock Nation again. Those are automatic. The Canadian for birdie. Right in it. Just left it short. So now we got Big D for the birdie and for us to win the hole. Boom shakalaka. Down goes the birdie. The good guys, a little high five there. And the good guys are back on top. PGA made some wise comment walking by, which is you'd love to see. Like I said, I wish the audio was on. Next next time. This weekend, I'll have the audio fixed. And we are walking over to the 9th hole at our fabulous Muni. This is a very short par 4. Green is tucked off to the right. Green is drivable, very drivable. You can play this hole a multitude of ways. There's a multitude of ways to make birdie, and there's a multitude of ways to make bogey. It's our tee box. I am going to be hitting driver. All you have to do is hit it kind of a high cut up over the trees on the right-hand side. If you fail to get it high enough, though, you turn the hole into an absolute nightmare. We're probably just waiting for people to clear out of the way. You try to get an angle on it from the left side. There's a bell down there as well, too. Once you hear the bell, then you know people are on the green. Then you can decide whether to hit it or not. Going through my setup, get the angle, and I'm going to let her go. Did not get through that one, but this new driver is so good that it was actually no problem at all. Didn't hit a high spinny one. Little dance there because I'm happy with the driver. In years past, that would have been just a high right block, high spinning disaster miss. Big D going with the iron. Going to play it smart. He's just a little left. He's in the rough. The Canadian, he's banging driver out there all day long. Sets up perfect for him. Just aimed on the left-hand side and let his little bleeder come back. He'll never have any issues if he just hits his regular shot here on this hole. Yep, easy squeezy, nothing to it. Perfect ball. PGA will be going for the green. Gonna load him up. And he's left this one a little right. But it's hard. It's almost hard to hit it too far right on this hole. And we start the walk down to our balls and to make the turn at the D. I think we're watching a YouTube video or something right there. All right, second shots. The Canadian and I are real close together. We probably got about 50 yards, 45 yards, something like that. Pin is on the front of the green, not over the bunker. So you got to fly something in there about 45, 50 yards. I believe the Canadian left it just short. I actually practice these shots a lot, so I'm hoping to get a little more out of these this year. And I just hit it way too long. Hits the front of the green and goes all the way back to the back of the green. As you can see, the Canadian's just short. Dimitri's just short. Pat and I are behind the hole. And by the way, our golf course came through the winter really, really, really in good shape. I mean, it's surprising to see how green this place is and how good a shape it's in for opening day or opening weekend. It opened on the Friday, and this is filmed on a Sunday. The Canadian giving it a run, and pretty good putt. He's probably about a foot away. And Big D says, "Scoop it up, big boy." That's good. Pat is stalking his putt. It's a pretty fast putt. And he's getting ready to pull the trigger. I'm watching. Pat runs it by a little bit, but he's so good that from 2 feet we just give it to him. No big deal. It's Easter. It's early. In a couple weeks, you got to pretty much make everything in this group, unless it's hanging over the edge. It gets real stingy real fast. I like the way this putt looks. I'm feeling like I should make it. And I absolutely crush it through the break, through everything in my effort to try to make it. So, not too pleased. Dimitri rolling her in. I believe that was for 3. Gonna make this for the par. Setup looks good. Little forward press. Get everything solid. And no. No soup for you. On to the 10th hole. 10th hole. Short par 4. Probably like 330. Very drivable, especially in the summertime. If you take it over that left side where the shadow of the trees are, with a little draw, you're on it or over it. Out to the right, there's a little more room, but it will bounce right into that clump of trees. Again, it's probably 38, 40 degrees at this point while we're making the turn. Just trying to get something on top of that hill. So good miss. I hit it a little bit low. It's just up the right-hand side. It's staying there. Waiting to see if it gets any crazy bounces. Just bounces straight, so I'll probably have a 40, 45-yard pitch in there. Big D getting ready to load up. Boom shakalaka. Loves it. Right down the middle. No problems. Back to the bag quick. The Canadian is ready. He's hit it fine. It's just a little bit right. No problem though. PGA. He's hit a very good shot, like right in the slot you want to be in. Has to miss those trees on the left. It does. We're all pretty convinced that he has now either driven the green or come pretty close to the green. So, and we start to climb summit the 10th hole. Here we are in the second shot range. The Canadian getting ready to assault the pin. Checking his numbers. Picking a tool. Removing the sunglasses. He's focused on this one. Little club cleaning. Make sure you get them grooves sharp as hell. He's feeling it. Does pretty okay. You can see PGA is way up there. He's almost by the side of the green. So right here I probably got 40 yards. Pin is tucked right on the very front. Just going through my rehearsal. I practice this shot a lot with my Garmin, and really hoping to do better with it. And I hit it way too far. Flies to the middle of the green and goes all the way to the back of the green. Clearly it's the club's fault, nothing to do with me. That's why I looked at the club. Extremely pissed off at this point because I know I have a ridiculously difficult putt. PGA only has 10-12 yards. And you can't see it on film. Wasn't good enough, but he just kind of chili dips it. So you can see there was about a 3-yard walk for PGA, and he's back at his ball again. So it's early. It's early season. These things happen. Up by the green. You can see how far away I am. That's me on the back of the green. Big D's only got about a 10-yard shot. And you can see there he probably knocks it about 12 feet by, 15 feet by. PGA is about to hit his third shot. Recovers, and you can see knocks out about 5 feet by. But like I've been saying, the way the guy putts, he hardly misses any of those. So good on him. It's a great skill to have. That's the Canadian flying one in there, a little chipperoo. I'm doing my aim point, feeling it out. I know it breaks right. Sometimes it breaks a little, sometimes it breaks a lot. Depends on the pace of the green. These are actually running pretty quick for this time of year. So I'm lining it up, getting my line right. This is a really fast putt too. This hole is like straight downhill. As you can see, I feel like the pace is okay. It's just breaking, and I leave myself with about a 6-footer over to the right. It breaks that much. Got to put a sticker on it. So we got Pat putting for 4, the Canadian putting for 4, Big D putting for 3. And One Angry Golfer putting for 4. Big D's putt slides by right. So the Canadian and Pat are happy to see that. The Canadian for par. Nothing to it. The guy's stone cold killer. Aim pointing it. Getting it ready. Get my line ready. And rejected. So easy 5, no problem there. The wedge shot cost me hitting it 60 feet away from the hole from 40 yards. Got to get better than that. PGA, he misses about 4 of these a year. Mostly in the same round too. Nothing to it. On to the 11th hole, our number 1 handicap hole on our golf course. So this is a par 4. It can play up to about like 425 or so, 415. Downhill, dogleg right. Pretty tough green. You got a water hazard down there on the right-hand side of the bunch of trees. Over on the left, you've got a small hazard inside some trees. If you go you can drive it through the fairway into our practice area, which is no penalty. It's just a really hard shot. So here you just want to hit a nice big high cut down the middle. It'll give you the best opportunity to get as far down there as possible. This is usually the easiest shot in the golf course for me because I predominantly cut it. So I always look forward to this one. Getting set up. And you can see there, stuck on my right side. A little bit of a pulley pull. It's not going to be in the hazard, but it's not going to be pretty. So pretty disappointed. Back to the cart. I know that based on how I hit that, I'm going to have like 180 to 200 yards out of the woods to a very difficult green, 2-tiered, small, out of bounds left, the road's left. Big D hits the old pipe cut. That thing is just pounded. No issues there. And the Canadian getting ready to pull her back. This will be a fairly standard tee shot for him. He just aims down the left. Lets it come back. No issues. He's doing a little dancing. He's over there with me. The guys who cut it typically on this hole almost always miss it left because they want to make sure it cuts, it feels like. So they hang on to it instead of just letting it go. PGA. He feels like he might have hit it too far, but he didn't. Ripped it right down the middle. So this is what we're looking at here. We got that stand of trees to the right. There's a water hazard in there. You can see the road to the left up by the green. If you miss the green to the right, it goes down like 35 yards into hell. So I've got to hit a choke down to the steel hybrid and turn it over. And I pretty much pull it off. I've turned it over a little bit too much. It's in the side of the hill up there. But overall, I'll take it. I don't want to do it over. Could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot worse. Canadian. My ball was about 200, so the Canadians probably got 180 or so, 190. Waste no time. He's hit a pretty good shot. It's up there on the right-hand side. It's a two-tier green. You got a back shelf that can be kind of difficult, but he has it up there pretty close to the back shelf. PGA, another good drive. He's looking down the pipe at like $130 here, probably $140 maybe. You can see the 150 there. He's checking the wind. He's got a minor degree in meteorology. It's warming up the engine. A little hat touch, make sure everything's in good shape. And giving out the full treatment. It's leaking right. He doesn't know if it's going to hang on yet. But boom, it does. Everything's good in the hood. And Big D has absolutely pounded this one into perfect position. I think he's got about 90 yards to the hole, which is good in this weather and everything. That's a big drive. Getting ready, giving that stuff a little kick, see how it goes. Big D and I actually go to the same instructor, working on similar things, different but similar. He's taking a look at it. PGA Pat is watching nervously. Short swing, accelerate through. He's not in love with the shot, but it's serviceable. Pat's waving the guys from the tee up. A couple friends of ours back there, because we forgot. Nobody rang the bell, which was our fault. There's a bell over there to the right. When you get around the corner, you need to bang on the bell, Road Warrior style, so everybody knows up top that they can hit, because you can't really see down there at the bottom. And we're approaching the green here. This bunker right here on the left. You're not in it too much. It's way short of the green. I don't know what happened there, but I hit a chip. I had a really difficult chip, and I hit what I thought was a good chip that ended up about 6 or 8 feet by the hole. Canadian's going to punch her down there. Left it just short. He's getting a stroke here, so this is an important hole. Big D looking for the birdie putt. It's on that back shelf. Your standard 4. It's a good 4 here. I mean, 4 is a good score here. I don't care what time of year and what conditions you're playing. Like I said, it's our number 1 handicap hole in the golf course. So it's good. It's a good 4. PGA about to go for the birdie. I am putting for par. After bogeying 9 and 10, both 3 putts, I really need this to go in or I'm going to get really frustrated and want to throw my clubs in the street. Thank God it goes in. I don't remember if PGA made a birdie here or not. I forget. I believe that's par for Andrew, which is a net 3, I believe. Now we start the walk across. We have to cross the street now, which is always interesting. Little walk to the 12th hole, which is a par 3. Giving you a little tour of the old Derryfield here. This is people coming off the 6th hole, going across the street to play. There's like 4 or 5 holes across the street. Backside of the 6th green. Up here on the tee, we got a character you'll see in videos coming up. His name is Whitey. Great dude. And we have the King. 12th hole. Bad guys have the honors. The Canadian has just hit a ball up there.
Oh, I wasn't on camera. Shit. Thank
No,
God.
sorry.
That
would have been on your. That would have been on your highlight reel too, Andrew.
The low burner. Keep it out of the wind.
PGA getting ready to hit one. It was kind of straight downwind. This hole, you don't want to miss left. You don't want to miss right. Short is probably your best miss. Good swing by PGA. He's hit it a little thin though. A little bit in the forehead. So he's looking at the club. Clearly it's the club's fault. And he's on the back of the green, probably a 30-35 footer. I have elected to go down a club. It's 150, 155, and I feel like I can get 9-iron there. Just hit a good 9-iron. Made a pretty good swing here. It's it moves just a little bit left of the pin. Watching to see if I have the right distance. I do. It's clearly the right club. So happy with that. Give me an opportunity to make birdie and at least an easy par. Mitri is changing bats. Strong player. I told him I feel like no problem getting almost a wedge there for him. And we're off. Made a pretty decent swing at it. That's the rest of the golf course right there. 13th hole, which you'll see in the next video. Trying to break these up in 6-hole bites so they're palatable. So as you can see, that's me to the left of the hole. We got Dimitri, I believe, in the back. Further away, you got Andrew and the Canadian. Well, that's me behind the hole. That's why I told Dimitri to go down a club. Andrew's hit a pretty good chip there. Pat's in the back of the green as well. PGA outside of the frame. PGA, it's away. The depth charge is loose. And as usual, he almost makes it. He had the early hand up in the shadows, and the golf god said, "Not so fast." I got about a 20-25 footer for birdie here. And just miss. Like how does that stay out? Moving the pin for my partner, Big D. Let's look at birdie here. Probably the first flag stick I've attended all day, which is kind of embarrassing. He's perplexed. How does that miss? He doesn't know. And that's good. The Canadian for par. No strokes will be applied to this score. He's saving it. Little handicap patter for the Canadian. All right, guys, that's holes 7 through 12. We'll show you the next. We'll show you 13 through 18 and the closing on the next video.